may also not hear the audio. Like when I'm playing your videos, you may not hear the audio when I play your videos, but it's playing. Yeah, exactly. Going live in 1 minute. Going live in 1 minute. Yeah. It's going to be on YouTube. It's on all platforms right now. And YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's on all, and Facebook, all of it, yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Joe Fame coming at you. This is season 1 finale of the Fame Show. I got a very, very special guest with me today. His name is Accurate Beats. You may know him from YouTube. He is an awesome music producer. He's got so much talent. We're going to get a chance to really get to know him more. I also want to thank everybody that has subscribed to my channel at Joe Fame. I'm going to be giving away the MPC expansion pack of the Vault. So this is definitely good for all my MPC 1 users. If you didn't get the Vault expansion, this is your chance to get one for free. It's an $80 value that I'm going to be giving away for free. But without further ado, I'm going to give it up to the legend himself, coming from Sweden, Accurate Beats. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man. Calling me a legend? Thanks a lot for that one. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let everybody know who you are, where you from.
Well, you pretty much said it. I'm from Sweden, in a really small town in Sweden, as a matter of fact. I go by the name Accurate, and I run a YouTube channel about beat making, music production, gear, and, that sort of stuff that we're all kind of into. So that's pretty much it. I make beats as well, of course. So beats and videos. That's what I do.
So you've been living in Sweden your whole life?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I've been in the same small city since I was born. So, yeah, I'm still stuck here. In a nice way. In a nice way, though. In a nice way.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a beautiful view, especially when I seen you on the balcony making beats. Looks like such a beautiful view you have. Just seems peaceful.
Yeah, it's a nice place to live. I like Sweden. I actually do. I wouldn't want to move anywhere right now, to be honest.
Yeah, especially for everything going on. I wouldn't mind going to Sweden. I'm probably gonna go next year.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So basically, how this works, since you're new to my show, I ask you a series of questions, and we play some of your stuff in between. Sounds good?
Sounds awesome.
All right. So
yeah.
First question would just be like, how long have you been producing for?
I think I started to make beats as far as it was possible around 97, 98, somewhere around that time, where the technology wasn't at all where it's at today. So that amount of producing wasn't really, I wasn't producing much, but I tried to make music in tracker softwares and stuff like that.
So what inspired you to start actually producing and creating your own music?
Well, it was pretty much just a shortage of not having beats. I wanted to rap. Me and a friend of mine wanted to start. Yeah, we thought we could build up this rap career as kids. Of course, we couldn't. But all the beats you could find back then was the instrumentals from CD singles that you had. So when those ran out and we had written songs on every single instrumental we had, someone had to produce music, and that's where it come from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what piece of gear did you start out with? Did you start playing a piano or guitar first, or did you start diving right to beats?
No, since this is a small town and Sweden is, or at least was, a little bit behind on everything like this, we tried to get into a studio at a place where the kids hang out. And everyone who wanted to teach us anything about making music had guitars or stuff like that to play, and everything is very rock based around here. So electronic music and producing music with computers or whatever wasn't really a thing. So I had to really investigate deeply how to make stuff happen, and I started using Fast Tracker 2. really, really way back. And then I got some other music software called Magic's Music Maker Pro, I think.
I remember that.
It just sucked, but I was able to import audio files and chop them up and make stuff for 4 tracks, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
No, no, no. We're not talking about any like VST instruments or anything like that. Just pure audio, just editing audio. And from there, things grew on me. Rebirth came out. Reason came out. I started working with Cubase a lot as well. And from that on, things just continued to happen. And I got access to more and more music equipment.
Nice. So what would you say is like your first like real instrument though that like, maybe you started playing? What was it, like a guitar, or was it a piano, like your first real instrument?
Yeah, the first thing I got when like the whole DAW world kind of happened, the first thing I had was this M Audio MIDI keyboard, like the Keystation 49 or something like that. Just a normal MIDI keyboard to plug into your computer to play sounds like that. So piano, keyboard in that case, still not an instrument that I master at all. But that's where I started to, like, instead of drawing my drums into the sequencer, I could actually play them, which was kind of cool at that time.
So what made you want to like actually start pick up the turntable? Some of your videos you're scratching on some of your beats. What made you get into that?
Well, that's that's a bit of a tricky question because I was super late to the whole turntable scratching thing. We actually had a kid in my town or just around my town who was one of the DMC's champions back in the day. Really back in the day, and he was like a few years younger than me, so I felt like this thing is unattainable. I can't ever do this. It's too hard with 2 hands and too tricky, so I'm not gonna bother. So I just made music and was a rapper on the beats for years. And then I started trying out stuff with the turntable since I had one for sampling. And it just grew from there. So I don't really know when I started scratching. I'm still not a good scratch DJ, and I know that. But I think it's fun. I think it's a cool sound to incorporate in your beats, and I like the sound of like scratching from someone like DJ Premier. I like that more than someone like DJ Qbert or whatever, who's super advanced and it's just a lot of noises. I like it to be musical, and to me, I don't know when I started scratching, like way later than making beats.
Yeah, because I mean, you're really only like the few DJs that the producers I've seen actually using like a scratch technique over their beats. In their videos, they don't really do that. They just make the beat and that's it. They usually don't even add vocals or anything, and you're actually, cutting up your own vocals. So,
and to me, like, I can make a beat and I can make that interesting. But if I want to do something for YouTube, just when the beat is finished, I think I can just play the beat and just have it run. But can I do something on top of the beat? I think it's more fun. So if I add like a live melody on a piano or something, or a keyboard, or I do scratching, I just think that finishes a video off a bit better than just leaving it,
I know a lot of people can't see, but I can see. You have a big collection of vinyls right there. How long have you been collecting vinyls for? Passed down from family or?
No, I don't know. These aren't all my records, by the way. I have like 6 crates at my dad's house as well. That's been just there for years. But the whole thing started with me starting to figure out what hip hop was and how to make beats, and that sampling was a big part of it. So I started getting like random records from flea markets and stuff. That's what I do nowadays as well. I don't have this, I don't have any famous records or any rare presses of anything. It's just flea market records that I can sample from. So I think that started around the same time, maybe 99. I started getting vinyl. I think it's a cool thing to have actual music on vinyl, both for sampling, scratching, and just listening to. I think it's a cool format.
Yeah, because you get that better sound compared to just ripping it off of YouTube or ripping it off of somewhere else.
Yeah.
You get like that more, the edgier vinyl feel.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a difference in terms of frequencies and stuff, which helps a lot when you're sampling and you're trying to filter out, like filter the bass from something. It helps to have an actual vinyl recording. So yeah, it's been a few records over the years.
So what made you want to start a YouTube channel?
I didn't. It kind of just happened. I made like a few videos of me just finger drumming beats or whatever. I think I made like 3 or 4 of them. And then machinemasters.com had this beat battle thing where you were supposed to make a beat and enter a contest, basically. And the flip side of that was that you had to make it into a video. It wasn't just a beat battle. It was a beat making video challenge. And I figured like, yeah, I know my way around video editing a little bit, and I have an iPhone. I should be able to kind of win this. And the prizes was really cool at the time. A lot of sound packs and stuff and things, mostly digital stuff. But I really wanted to win that thing. So I just made a video. I made a track with the sample they provided. I made a video of that, posted it. I won the contest, and I got a couple of views on that video. Then I felt like, yeah, cool. This could be something cool.
Nice.
And I've followed people on YouTube for years. People like Sounds and Gear and F Major or whatever his name is now. And I figured like, yeah, why shouldn't I be able to do this? The hardest thing that I felt was I don't speak English too well. It's not my mother tongue. I'm Swedish again. So I felt like, is this going to be an issue for me to not be able to speak the same English as someone like you do? And it turned out pretty quickly that wasn't much of an issue. People understood me just fine. So
yeah, you speak great English. I couldn't even tell. Like that's why I was like, "Are you sure you're born and raised in Sweden?"
Yeah, I'm sure. And that's I'm glad to hear that. But here in Sweden, people make a big deal out of sounding Swedish when you speak English. It's a big like shameful thing to do. I can hear that you're Swedish. But I guess you guys in the US and stuff, you're like used to hearing people speak in English even worse than someone like me, I guess. So yeah. So that was one of my big like obstacles to go over. And when I did it, I just felt like, yeah, sure, let's keep on doing it. And I got some views on YouTube, so numbers says something.
Yeah, exactly. You're definitely growing really rapid. So So how long have you had the channel for?
Oh, I should have looked that up before. I actually don't know. 4 years maybe?
4 years?
That I've been like active and posting stuff and taking it kind of seriously. I think about 4 years. Nice. Could be more, could be less. Nice. I should have looked this up beforehand. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You just stay on that grind. So for people who don't really know the style that he does or the music he does, I'm just going to play a quick demo that he posted up on one of his videos on his YouTube channel. I'm just going to play that really quick. It's just a quick like, kind of demo of him making a quick beat and just get like a vibe of what he's about. So check it out really quick. So yeah, so that was just a little bit. You guys saw some of your scratching in there. You probably felt the difference, right, between scratching on the actual turntable to the controller.
For that controller, the Tractor
Tractor.
Control S4,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I think that's the best controller I've used for scratching to me personally. A lot of the controllers with, I mean, having the motorized wheel in the S4 makes a whole lot of difference for me. Just to have it actually move when you like release it,
Mm-hmm.
it helps a lot. But I'm old school like that. I prefer real vinyl always. But it's cool to have a controller and be able to do stuff like that as well. There's a difference, but I don't think it's too noticeable to like be something that you don't want to do at all. You know?
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool how you do it both. I like the Techniques turntable. You got it very clean, keep it fresh.
Yeah, I have the Technics 1200 here, 1210. It's good. I use it for most of the stuff, but sometimes it's just easier to grab the controller.
Yeah, because you got all those different sounds. So,
Right.
so do you have any famous producers that you look up to, and maybe what other YouTubers that you look up to?
In terms of music, first of all, I try to actually not listen to too much music that comes out nowadays because I kind of think that I've found my own sound and I don't want to be too affected by whatever I hear. So I don't listen too much to music at all. But if I do, okay, I'm making it sound like I don't listen to music ever. That's not true. But my influences are definitely the older heads. Like I already mentioned, Premiere, Pete Rock.
Mm-hmm.
LP is one of my really big. It doesn't. You can't hear that much in my music, but I really love his production. And all those older guys. I listen a lot to Madlib and Dilla and Doom and stuff as well, of course. But like the real old school heads, like Premiere is my house god, I guess. Always loved all the stuff he's done over all the years, basically.
And do you have like a YouTuber that you looked up to, or
Uh, for general YouTube watching, sure, but for like music production stuff, I don't know. I met a lot of the cool people on YouTube in a few of the events that I was attending a couple of years ago. Like Cuckoo is definitely one of the most inspiring guys to me out there, even though his music isn't what I do.
Mm-hmm.
What he does with the platform, I think is really, really cool. I'm also friends with Bo Beats, so I guess I should shout him out. But other than that, for YouTube in general, I just like the guy you had on the last show. I watch more YouTube videos about cameras and tech, more that than beat making stuff because I feel like I make beat making stuff. I make videos about the gear. I don't want to take anything from someone else. I want to do my own thing, and it's easier for me to keep that whenever I'm not consuming too much of the same stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely does. You want to have your own style, and you don't want to feel like you're taking something from somebody else, or
Yeah, and I don't want to hear that I'm plagiarizing someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Someone once told me, like in 2 comments, that my videos are similar to Red Means Recording,
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy. And I talked to him about it, and he definitely doesn't feel like that. And it just bugs me to have that comment in the back of my head that my videos are similar to his. They're definitely not, but I don't want to risk to do anything like that. So normally, if I watch YouTube, I watch a lot of stuff on cameras. That's like being a YouTuber. Cameras is one of the things you're getting interested in.
Speaking of cameras, we saw a post on actually on one of your last videos that it broke during one of the scenes. See if we get it fixed.
Nah, that's right. The screen is busted on this one, but the
Oof.
camera seems to work fine. And well, it is what it is. It's just gear. It's just sad whenever it happens. But I could get a new camera if I needed to. So I guess it's fine.
So the next question is gonna be a little fun. So I know you have like the MPC Live. So
Yeah.
if you could record that anywhere in the world, where would you choose and why?
I'm actually editing a video right now. Um, of me using the MPC one with an external battery just in the woods at a bench I found in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. Or by the ocean. I like that a lot. To be alone in some kind of nature and just make music. So I pretty much do that already, I think. But if I had the option to go to like the streets of New York or go back to Berlin to just hang out and make beats there, it would be super cool. But what's accessible to me is the nature around here, and that's more than good enough right now.
Nice. So if you could produce for any artist, or band, who would you choose?
I heard that you asked that question in your previous thing, and I don't work with artists at all right now, and there's a reason for that. But if I got the opportunity to work with someone like Action Bronson, Killer Mike, or Evidence, I would, I would let everything else go and just do that. But I think those are like a few of the favorite rappers I have in mind right now. I'm still listening a lot to the album Action Bronson did with Static Selector. To me, that's just those two guys together sounds really cool. And I think my style could kind of fit into what Action Bronson did a few years back. So it would be cool to do something with him, Evidence, or Killer Mike. Those are the three names I came up with. So that's what you're getting.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, because I mean, you got like that more like that old school type of vibe to your beats. If I noticed, so I could picture like some like, old school rappers on it or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, having someone like Talib Kweli,
Yes, like that's what I was thinking of.
that would be like tremendous. But yeah. I'm old school like that. I've always listened to this kind of boom bappy, choppy hip hop stuff, and that's what I'm trying to make. So those are the rappers that I kind of would like to work with.
Nice. So you probably heard this question also in the last one, but if you could give tips to anybody that wants to get into producing their own music, what type of tips or advice would you give to somebody?
Well, that's a good question because that has kind of a weird answer today. If I would give an advice to myself when I was starting out, it would be something, but now it's completely different because people have these, pre-made sample packs you can just download and put together and make music like that. It's a big difference, but I still think that don't listen to what people says too much, and don't compare yourself with others too much. That just bums you out. Because the first tracks you make aren't going to sound like your idols or the people that you want to listen to yourself. It's just not. It's going to suck, and that's what it is. So don't compare yourself too much to others, and don't listen to all the tips people have, because everyone knows the best way to make beats. Everyone knows which piece of gear is the best one. Hell, everyone knows how to lose weight in the best way. People have opinions, and sometimes people are right, sometimes people are wrong, but you do you, and be yourself and do whatever you want. So I think don't listen to people too much. Just pick a road and just go with it. Pick a piece of equipment and just learn it by heart and master that shit and just do it. Someone's always going to say that the MPC is not as good as the Ableton Push. Someone's always going to say like the Ableton Push is worse than Machine. Just pick one and go with it. That's my thing.
Nice. And would you say kind of like the same thing for people that maybe want to start like their own YouTube channel or something like that? Basically, just.
Well, YouTube is weird because the whole YouTube algorithm changes a lot all the time. People are saying that it's really important to be consistent and post every week or every day or whatever. And some people says that it's just the quality that matters. And if I knew about this, I would definitely have more success than I do on YouTube. And I don't. So my suggestion is just with YouTube and video editing, it's a lot of work. Doing what I do, for example, like I always try to film with 2 or 3 cameras to make the edit kind of cool. So that takes a lot of work. Come up with a beat, make that on video, and also edit the video, it takes a lot of time. So I guess my only like thing there is make sure that you're having fun. Because if it's not fun, you're not going to be able to be consistent. You're not going to be able to do it for long. So I think like it's more important for you to actually enjoy what you're doing, especially for video, because it takes a lot of time.
You don't want to burn yourself out doing all that. So
no, and as soon as you start thinking about, what do my viewers want and what do I have to do for them, you're changing focus from yourself to someone else. And to me, that's kind of dangerous because it's easy to lose the spark, and it's easy to not have fun anymore. And I think you need to have fun in order to be able to continue doing it. And it's been proven for I don't know how many thousands of channels. You have to do stuff. I don't know how consistent you have to be, but you have to be there. You can't just make one video and be done with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So have fun.
See, great advice. See, I like that question because everyone has their own opinion on what the kind of advice they should give to somebody, and it's always something different, and everybody always comes off. So
sure, and I try to avoid everything that has to do with talking about the algorithms or what works on YouTube, because I think that changes every year or something like that. They make changes that affect some channels positive and some channels negatively. So I don't know about that. Just make videos, have fun, and make sure that it's genuine.
So you use a lot of different pieces of gear in your videos. What do you enjoy using the most?
What I enjoy using the most, if we're talking just straight up beat making,
because you use like either your machine a lot, you use your MPC sometimes, you use sometimes just a regular DAW on computer.
Yeah, I try to change it up because sometimes, some videos are sponsored and they have, I have to do something specific. And I also like to change it up just because, the viewer might not be into machine. They might be into the MPC. So why not change it up? And for me, I can use any tool. I think it's cool. But if you ask me to make a beat today, I'm picking up Machine. Machine MK3, I've used that for so many years, or the Machine products in general. So it's like it's in the back of my spine. Machine, the Machine workflow. But right now I make a lot of music on the MPC-1 because I think the MPC-1 is just awesome. I have the MPC Live 2 as well, which is cool. But in many ways, I do prefer the MPC-1 over the Live 2.
You say that in one of your videos. Yeah, to its own.
I think I'm going to make a video on that whole topic in itself, just talking about which one I like more and why, because I have my reasons. And as I said, I went to the forest yesterday into the woods and make a beta beat, and I choose to use the MPC-1 instead of the MPC Live 2 for that. Even though it doesn't have the battery, but it's so much smaller and it has a lot of dedicated buttons, which makes the workflow faster. And that's always been a thing of mine. It needs to be done quickly. It needs to have a good workflow. And that's where the MPC-1 wins over the MPC Live. And that's where the machine still sticks with me because I know that, so I'm super fast on it.
Yeah. Nice. So speaking of you making beats outside, we're actually going to play one of your videos that you posted up on YouTube. You actually making a beat outside in the wilderness, and we'll play that really quick. So for anybody who hasn't seen that, we'll play that really quick. Check it out.
Hello YouTube, it's Akrit again, back with another video from the homes. Yeah, I'm not in the home studio today. I'm actually in the wilderness trying to film a beat making video outside. I'm visiting my dad right now in his summer house on the Swedish west coast. We have some really nice weather and a cool location for me to record a beat making video. However, I seem to have forgotten to bring my lav mic completely, so I'm not going to be able to record any voiceover for this. And I also just recently set up my Canon M50 on a tripod that got hit by the wind. It fell over and it shattered the display on my camera. So I'm a bit bummed out because of that, but it seems to record video just fine. And I brought Machine MK3 and a laptop out here, so let's just take this opportunity and try to make something. I have a sample that I think I should be able to chop up and make something cool out of, so it is what it is. Let's give it a go. that's pretty much all it became. But it was a cool and a fun experience to be outside to make a beat like that. Totally doable, even though I had some bad luck with my things. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to do more things like this in the future for this channel. So I guess this was kind of a short video, but still it's something. And
So yeah, I was feeling that beat when you first posted that video. I was like, ooh, this is an awesome beat.
yeah, thanks a lot. I need to like finish that video or finish that beat and make it better. But yeah, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, the video kind of just like cut out short. I'm like, oh, what happened? Because you had audio issues.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues with that. I busted the camera. I forgot my mics. Yeah. Sometimes it's kind of hard.
Yeah. So now you gotta like, make like a little checklist for your next video or whatnot.
Exactly.
So what was I gonna say? How did music and YouTube creation change you as a person? Did you feel like each day that you grow and your skill develops more? Like, do you feel like it maybe changed you as a person? Do you feel like maybe you got less humble or you more humble or?
Well, the humbleness. I hope I'm kind of humble. I think so, but I don't know. But my YouTube channel is growing. It's stopped growing right now, but it has grown for a bit, and I'm at 76,000 subscribers now, which is something. I hope that doesn't affect me too much, but I don't know. But what I can say is that the whole thing about making videos for YouTube has made me doubt myself less in my creativity, because I used to make a lot of beats and they just sat on my hard drive like for anyone else, and I always felt like I have to tweak this snare, or I have to mix this thing differently, or I have to do this and that. And for YouTube, I just stopped caring about that, and I just realized that I can post this. It doesn't have to be finished or polished, or I don't need to be like 100% satisfied. And that has helped me like a lot, to just have that mindset of, yeah, it doesn't have to be finished. People will enjoy it anyway. And I can just show the process, and that's what it's about. And if I can inspire anyone else to make something, that's cool. So just pump it out. And that has helped me a lot to just finish my tracks and just be done with things and be happy with whatever's happening. Like that video you just showed, that would have been one of those beats or one of those projects that I like spent a few hours on and just put away on the hard drive. Mm-hmm. But in this case, I'm not done with it, but I'm done with the video. So I posted a video, and that one, it's there.
Yeah, and it just fit that perfect vibe, just being outside, and the beat just like went perfectly with it. Like it kind of like you were inspired by that nature to make that beat.
Yeah, and I think that's good enough. That's honest. That's unique. That's what it is. It's out there, and that's cool. A couple of years ago, before YouTube, I wouldn't have done anything with that. That wouldn't become anything for anyone to hear. So that has helped me with like anxiety of finishing things.
Nice. So I don't mean to get too personal, but for people who don't know, you had something serious that happened to you recently.
Sure.
How did that affect you? Did you feel like that slowed you down when it came to producing or making YouTube content? Like, did you feel like it really slowed you down? Do you feel like maybe it took a piece from you personally, or?
Well, let's start by saying what happened to me was that I had a brain tumor, and they removed it. I had surgery for removing the brain tumor. I had a stroke on top of that, and I've had a rough year. How that hasn't affected my creativity much at all. It just made me realize that, okay, this is what I want to do. I can't just consider this being some kind of part-time thing that I do a little bit on the side. I want to do this. I want this to be me and who I am and what I do, want to take it more seriously, but not serious enough that I'm like, pushing myself down in a way, but just staying positive. Mm-hmm. And the first week I got home from surgery and I had to go to rehab, but I was like living at home. Mm-hmm. I went into my studio and it just felt like, I can't barely walk. I can't hold my balance and I can't write my name on paper. Let's see how this works. I just started up a machine and tried to do something, and I had really lousy control over my right hand. So normally I play the hi-hat with the right hand, and I just couldn't. It was totally impossible. The hand wasn't following me at all. I knew exactly what I wanted to do because I haven't been affected, like cognitively or whatever this word is.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that the hand wasn't following me at all and scratching, like cutting the fader with the right hand, just forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
So the more rehab I did, the better I became. And now I'm pretty much back at where I was a year ago. Not really, but kind of. This is,
It's a process, yeah.
yeah, and I think this is pretty much as good as it gets. And I'll have to deal with that. That's good enough. But it made me realize that I have this studio and I have all of this equipment and I have this audience, so I'm gonna try to do something about that, and just take that part of my life more seriously. So a lot happened like that, and I just feel the urge to make even more music and even more videos than before. So it's basically just become this kind of positive thing,
Yeah.
for that part. But I also have a family and a daughter and stuff that means a lot in that way,
Mm-hmm.
which has also kind of been a struggle with the whole rehab process and getting back to normal life.
I bet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. And I mean, it's a tough situation, but I mean, you look a lot better. I mean, I remember when you first posted that video, when you had the bandage on your eye and everything, and
yeah,
you can't, but you embraced that. Like, that's what I inspired me, and I think inspired a lot of people. Like, you embraced that. You even changed your logo to have that patch on the eye. Like,
right. I mean, I felt like I had basically two options here. I could either just start playing video games,
mm-hmm.
or and just sit on my ass and just do nothing and just be miserable.
Yeah.
Or I can do the only really important thing for me that really means something for me as a person. I can just dive into that. So I picked that route over video games,
You picked the
and I'm
right
happy
route.
about.
Yeah, you picked
Yeah,
the
I think I did.
definitely.
And well, I had the eye patch on for over 6 months, and they told me that the next step was to just close the eye for good, just shut it down, and just sew it together basically. And I had to do more rehab and fight even more to get it working. And now I can open and close my eye, so I don't need the eye patch,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. I still have this facial paralysis thing that I can't move the right side of my face basically.
Gotcha.
A little bit. The eyelid and some of the mouth works, but like I can't whistle, if that's
I
worth
mean,
anything.
not really.
No, and I can't like raise my eyebrow on the right side and stuff. But
I can't even
to
do that
me,
anyway.
no. But
Yeah, no, I
I'm a
understand.
bit crooked in my face, and I think that's what it is. It's okay. But I had weeks with a walker,
Mm-hmm.
and I had months with that cane thing over there. And since then, I've come super, super far.
Very far. Yeah, you look good now.
Very far.
You look like you're
Thank you.
back to
Thank you.
normal self.
Yeah, almost. And I mean, this is the new me, so to speak. I'm gonna look like this, and it's gonna be like this, and it's fine. I'm able to do beats, videos, inspire people, and be creative. And most important of all, I can be a good father to my daughter, which is important. But creativity-wise, I feel like I have this new kind of spark, this new fire that tells me that, yeah, whatever happens, but I'm always gonna, as long as I can stay creative, I'm gonna stay creative. I'm also, I mean, just a thing we haven't mentioned, I'm deaf on the right ear.
Oh wow.
I can't hear anything off the right ear. It's dead.
Really?
Yeah.
So I mean, does that make a challenge, or what do you do? Mostly just like listen out of one headphone, like one ear?
Yeah, this one pumps audio into my right ear, but nothing happens because the whole, the stuff between the brain and the hearing is disconnected. But I have a switch on my audio interface that goes mono.
Mm-hmm.
So, and everything I sample, I reconnected my entire studio and made everything output a mono signal instead of stereo.
Wow. I mean,
And
that's
to
really
me,
good.
like, it is what it is. I would like to be able to put my one of my samples a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, but that's not an option anymore. So I have to deal with whatever the situation is. And mono is definitely, it's good enough.
Yeah, no, the beat sounds great. Like you couldn't really, tell that you couldn't hear out of your one ear. I mean, they've been pretty mixed pretty well, so that's definitely a big plus. Because like a lot of people sometimes can't do that. There's only very few. Like they feel like if they lose something, because that's like what we need in music. You need your ears and you need your hands. Like those are like the two.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, like losing hearing on the right ear would be devastating if I felt like stereo picture is super important. But for the beats I make, it's like, yeah, who cares if one guitar track is a little bit to the left or right? Who cares? It's a dope beat that it sounds dope. Cool. Yeah. That it's mono. I don't care.
And you're doing it for the love of it anyway. So you're doing it, really kind of like you said. You're not really focused on kind of like what other people think. You're doing it for the love of it. Having fun with it. So
exactly. And to me, like if we're talking about mixing and mastering for a second, I've had so much struggle with that over the years, and like forced myself to use a lot of different compressors and limiters and stuff without really understanding them. Now that I kind of do understand them, I end up not using them as much.
Oh wow.
Just because it's kind of not. That's my fault, by the way.
I was gonna sound like I lost you.
No, that's my fault.
You're good.
And I feel like that's the same thing there. If the sample and the drums and the bass and whatever sounds good together, cool. Leave it at that. It doesn't have to be like properly mastered and mixed, especially not for YouTube.
Yeah.
If that just puts a lot of like pressure on me that I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to be super specific about everything, it just becomes a chore and it just becomes less fun.
Exactly. So do you feel like you learn something new every time you produce or every time you create new YouTube content? Do you feel like you're always learning something new and, trying to improve?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I get sponsors to send me stuff or just buy a lot of hardware equipment as well. Because I could be stuck in a machine for the rest of my life and just do the same thing over and over again. And that's fun. It's cool. But if I can get my hands on a Korg Wavestate, why not? If I can make beats on the Roland MC707, why not? Because that new workflow always inspires me to switch something up, to make something a little bit different. And to me, the gear, I'm not saying that you need gear to stay inspired, but for me, it has become like that. Like the gear inspires me to do something differently. So when the new MPC 1 came out, okay, I started working with that and I realized that, okay, I haven't been in this menu on the MPC Live because it didn't feel natural.
Exactly.
Now it does. So now I'm doing something new. And especially for stuff like synthesizers and drum machines and stuff that has a unique sound, I think I like to use them for what they are. And that makes me evolve in my music making and my beats to sound like they do, basically. Is that even an answer for that question? I don't know.
No, it works. I mean, like, because you kind of think about it, like, I used to use Logic, and now I'm trying to learn the MPCX and the whole MPC DAW and everything. It's kind of like a big change, just kind of like a flip. But, it's something exciting because you learn something new and you're trying to, build up what you got.
Yeah, I mean, that could help people to get inspired. Or when I had less money and I did stuff, I used to use an iPad kind of a lot. And there you could find like these really cheap, specialized, weird apps that did something that was specific for that app. And just changing out my library of apps every like 6 months or whatever made me evolve a lot in what I did. So even if you don't have the money to get outboard gear, I think there's opportunities for people to try other stuff and see what they like the best.
Gotcha. So if you could only either produce music full time or create YouTube content only full time, which would you choose?
No, you can't ask that because if I had to make YouTube videos about other stuff than music, I would pick music. But since my YouTube channel is beats and it is music related, if I had to choose, I would go with YouTube.
Exactly.
Because then
It's a loophole question that I ask some people because they get thrown off by it. They're like, "Wait a minute, that makes no sense because I can still do both."
yeah.
If you think about it.
I mean, nowadays, if you just look at my discography, I make a lot more videos than I release beats, because that's just where my audience is at, and that's just what I find fun. So I guess I would go for YouTube. Yeah.
So you don't sell beats? Do you sell your own beats or?
No. I've never sold beats like that. No.
Oh, nice. So
I'm not hating on people that do, but for me, I used to work with rappers here in Sweden and some people in the US as well. And I just stopped working with artists when I realized that my music can be music just as it is, just instrumentals. I can just put them out as they are, with scratch or without scratch, with just a vocal sample of someone saying something. That works. So if I don't need to put anyone else in to like add lyrics about something that I don't like or whatever, I don't have to, because the music stands by itself.
So if you could only choose one DAW to use for the rest of your time producing, what would you choose?
One DAW in the computer?
Mm-hmm.
That's Logic. Logic Pro X. Yeah. Easily. That's what if I make a beat in something weird, if I'm using the OP1 or something and I need to track it out, I always go to Logic. And I like how Logic works. It's logical to me.
Nice. So what would you say that you love and hate most about either creating music or creating YouTube content?
Well, I know it's a kind of a cliche answer, but I love the fact that I'm able to go into my studio, fire up whatever kind of equipment I want, and just start from zero and just create something. That's not exactly similar to what anyone's ever heard before. So the sheer creativity in there, just go in and yeah, I'm able to start from nothing and just do something. I'm able to create. That's kind of magical to me when it comes to music. Everything is silent, and then I go into the room, and then things start to happen, and then you have music. It's crazy. So I think that's what I love about like making music. YouTube, I like the interactions a lot from people who are commenting and saying stuff. I mean, when I did the more personal videos about my surgery and stuff, people were so supportive.
Yeah.
And behind every single username on YouTube, there's actually a person who's watched the video and felt something. That's crazy to think about. And to me, again, crazy, magical. It's amazing. So having the interactions with people, even though I don't always reply to comments nowadays because I have too many videos for that, just knowing that there are people out there who's watching this stuff, it's cool. What I hate about it takes a lot of time. Editing can be hard sometimes. It can take too much time. But when you're done, you have a video that didn't exist in the world before.
Yeah. So editing more of the video or more of the music, or just the video mostly?
No, just the video editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people can't stand. I know a lot of professional videographers and photographers, and that's like the one thing they hate is the editing part.
Yeah, I think it has its charm sometimes. I find it kind of fun, but sometimes when you're just busting hours away in one edit that turns out into an 8-minute video that like 10,000 people watches, you can get a little bit frustrated at times. But yeah, it is what it is. It comes with a lot of perks as well.
Nice. So are you working on any new EPs or any new albums you want to post up on Spotify or anything?
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about that because I don't want to promise anything that I can't hold.
Gotcha.
But my plan is to make a vinyl.
Okay.
An album, instrumental album on vinyl. That's my plan.
And actually get a press vinyl?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know anything, but that's what I want to do. And I'm collecting tracks now and saving them up in folders, and I'm arranging stuff for a future release. But I'm not promising anything.
Nice. So where can everybody find you at, and if you want to shout out anybody?
If I want to shout out anyone else, no.
Nobody want to shout out?
Oh, myself. I guess I'm trying to be active a little bit on Instagram, but the big thing I do is just YouTube. So YouTube, the channel is called Accurate Beats. Um, so that's what I have. I used to have a podcast, but I feel like that takes a bit too much time. So the YouTube channel, all the content is up there. Whatever I do, it's always shown on YouTube. That's where I live online.
Gotcha. So you can find them on YouTube at Accurate Beats.
But
But yeah, no, I meant like any person you want to shout out, like hey ma.
oh, that
Hey.
is what you meant. My
Yeah.
bad.
No, you're good. I was like, maybe you don't understand what I said.
I don't know. That's dangerous because I'm always gonna forget someone. You know, shouting one guy out and totally forgetting about someone else. Well, I don't know.
Just
No, I
oh,
don't think I have anything specific.
all right, just shout out to all his supporters and everybody that supports his channel.
Yeah, of course. Everyone who watches this show and who's following me on YouTube and whatever, awesome people. Awesome people.
Sounds good. I do want to thank you definitely for taking time. You know, we're in 2 different time zones and everything, so I know it was kind of like hectic trying to come up with a time, but I'm glad you actually had time to sit down and chat and talk.
Yeah, I'm just glad to be invited, man. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you're very humble about it, so I was very appreciative. Like, I was like, wow, you actually wrote me back. I didn't think you were going to write me back. I was like, he ain't
No,
gonna,
of course I'm
he ain't-
gonna write people back.
I'm like, he ain't going to write me
Of
back.
course.
Yeah, so before we head out, I am giving away an MPC expansion pack. So I guess for people that have like the MPC 1, because I got the X, I pre-ordered the 1. So I bought the Volt ahead of time thinking I was going to get the 1. And then it was just way too long waiting, so I just canceled it and I got the X, which already comes with the Volt. So I was like, now I got an extra copy. So I'm going to give one away. I had a lot of subscribers, so I want to thank everybody subscribed to me. If you could just give me a number between 1 and 11, just so I can shout out the winner.
Let's go with the number 3.
Number 3. All right, our winner is Anthony Rexhouse. You are the winner. Just hit up the Fame Show live at gmail.com, and I'll send it right over to you. But yeah, I just want to thank you, Accurate Beats, for once again for taking time. Hopefully, maybe I'll take a trip out to Sweden. We'll do a little like nature collab or something.
Would be awesome. You're welcome anytime.
Sounds good. All right, man. Well, enjoy the rest of your night. I guess it was like what 7 o'clock there.
Right, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so it's my.
So I'm back to video editing. That's all I do.
That's all you do. He's back to work. He's got a lot of
Yeah.
videos got to push out. So definitely looking forward to that. So yeah,
Right.
thanks again, man, and I hope you do enjoy the rest of your night. And I look forward to it to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, later. So that was Accurate Beats. He is awesome, so humble, really talented guy. Definitely want to check him out on his YouTube channel at Accurate Beats. He's getting close to that 100,000 subscriber mark, so help him reach that milestone. He's almost there. He's got so much great talent. Very, very talented from all different software and DAWs and different equipment he uses to spice up his channel. So you get a lot from it. It's very inspiring, and he's overall very great, humble guy, and I definitely appreciate him from actually taking time to reaching back out to me and saying, hey, yeah, I don't mind being on the Fame Show. It definitely means the world to me. Yeah, so my giveaway is going to go to Anthony Rexhouse. If you're hearing this, just send me an email at thefameshowlive@gmail.com. So that's THEFAME show, HOSHOW. Wow, I'm tired. Live@gmail.com. Sorry about that. And yeah, I'll send you the copy of the Vault expansion pack. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming out. Stay tuned. This was season 1 finale. For season 2 on, I'm trying to do something new. I'm trying to make it more exciting, especially for my YouTube content. So instead of doing just live interviews like this, where it's just Skype calls, I want to do more behind the scenes. So I actually want to make it more like an actual show. I actually want to be able to go meet up with these people, get to see what they do in their field, and like actually see them work, and then interview them during that whole process to give it more of like a live, more fun experience. So that's what I'm trying to do for season 2. If not season 2, then definitely season 3 once all this COVID's done, so I can start traveling more and just reaching out. If you did want to be on season 2, just hit me on at thefameshowlive@gmail.com. Just send me an email just saying, hey, I want to be interviewed. If you live in a Florida area, for now, I'm just doing the Florida area. If you're in a Florida area and you have a talent and you're actually performing, and you want me to come down and actually do that season 2, we'll do like behind the scenes, get to see what happens as you're setting up, preparing, and then actually doing the show and then talking in between. If you want to do something more lively like that, that's awesome. Definitely let me know. If you're just looking for a simple interview like this one, I'm cool with that as well. Just hit me up at thefameshowlive@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe to my channel at Joe Fame on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms at Joe Fame. You can look up The Fame Show on Facebook. You'll see it's The Fame Show Live, so it's facebook.com/The Fame Show Live, and you can follow and like that so you can stay up to date. TheFameShowLive.com will be coming out soon too, so you can see all of season 1 through there as well, and even contact me through that website once I have that up. I'm having issues with Google, so it hasn't been up yet. But yeah, so once that's done, you'll be able to do that. And yeah, so we're just going to do a lot of different stuff, especially for season 2. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to hearing you and what talent you have, because, I want everybody who's got some type of talent. I don't care what you do, photographer, videographer, dancer, DJ, juggler, comedian, whatever you do, you drawer, you're a tattoo artist, whatever your skill is, I want you on my show. This is like America's Got Talent, the world's got talent, you got talent. That's my 3 phrases right there. So once again, shout out to everybody in the MPC gang that's been supporting me as well. Shout out to I Am Sight, definitely on his page. If you haven't checked him out, definitely go there. He actually allows me to post this video and be like, hey, check out this interview. A lot of other groups will be like, no, you can't do that. So definitely shout out to him, and definitely thank you all for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to see you guys in the next one. I'm out because it's the afternoon on a Sunday. I'm probably going to hit my MPC up and probably stay on that all day. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again. This is season 1 of the finale of The Fame Show. Once again, I just want to congratulate Anthony Rexhouse for winning the giveaway.
Winner! Yay!
Yay! So congratulations one last time, and yeah, I'm out this time. All right, peace.